One virus can make a dying person terrified of drinking water. Imagine being desperately thirsty. Your mouth is dry, your body is begging for water. But every time you try to drink, your throat violently spasms. The sight of water terrifies you. The sound of running water fills you with panic. You want to drink. You need to drink. But your own brain won't let you. This isn't fiction. It's one of the most horrifying symptoms of a disease that has terrified humanity for thousands of years. A disease called rabies. And once symptoms appear, survival becomes almost impossible. Most people imagine deadly diseases arriving dramatically, but rabies often begins with something surprisingly small. A bite, sometimes from a dog, sometimes from a bat, sometimes from another infected animal. At first, the wound may seem insignificant. Days pass, weeks pass, sometimes even months. Everything appears normal, but hidden beneath the surface, the virus is already moving. Not through the bloodstream, through the nervous system, silently traveling toward the brain. Unlike many viruses, rabies has a terrifying strategy. It hijacks nerve cells, using them like highways, slowly climbing through the body toward the central nervous system. The virus can travel for weeks without obvious symptoms. The victim often has no idea what is happening. Then one day, the first signs appear. A fever, headaches, fatigue. Nothing unusual, nothing alarming. But the virus has already reached its destination, the brain. And that's when the nightmare begins. As the virus attacks the brain, behavior begins to change. Confusion, anxiety, agitation, hallucinations, fear. The person may become unable to distinguish reality from imagination. Then comes one of rabies' most infamous symptoms, hydrophobia, fear of water. The victim is thirsty, yet attempts to swallow trigger painful spasms in the throat muscles. Even seeing water can trigger panic. Even hearing running water can become unbearable. The body desperately needs hydration, but the brain has become a prison. Rabies has one of the highest fatality rates of any infectious disease. Once symptoms appear, survival is extraordinarily rare. The reason is simple. By the time symptoms begin, the virus has already caused severe damage to the nervous system. Modern medicine can prevent rabies if treatment is given quickly after exposure. But after the disease fully develops, there is often very little doctors can do. This is why immediate treatment after a suspicious animal bite is critical. In the final stages, the nervous system begins to fail. Paralysis may occur. Breathing becomes difficult. The brain struggles to control basic functions. Eventually, vital systems shut down. It is a tragic ending to a disease that often begins with a single unnoticed bite. Yet despite its terrifying reputation, rabies is also one of the most preventable deadly diseases. Awareness and rapid treatment save lives every year. Rabies doesn't rely on speed. It doesn't spread through dramatic outbreaks. Instead, it quietly enters the body, travels through the nervous system, and waits, transforming the brain into its battlefield. For thousands of years, it has remained one of humanity's most feared diseases, not because it is common, but because of what it does. A reminder that some of nature's greatest horrors are invisible, and some of the deadliest journeys begin with a single bite. If today's story amazed you, watch our first BioMystery case, the parasite that hijacks minds. You'll discover another tiny organism capable of changing life in extraordinary ways. If you enjoy exploring the darkest mysteries of biology and medicine, subscribe to BioMystery, because science still hides stories stranger than fiction.